My guest at this time is going to take on Jack Cartwheel, Dante Leone, Grim Reaper, Nick Wayne, and Alex Zane at the Wrld on GCW kickoff show this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, free on the GCW YouTube channel. It is Ninja Mack. Ninja Mack.
Wrestle Nick.
Yeah,
How are y'all doing? Y'all want to make a bet tonight?
So before we get, so you say that you want to make a bet. You're like an actual gambler. You're a pretty active poker player, right?
Of course, Texas Hold'em, some roulette, some blackjack, but also I do a lot of gambling in my matches. I take a lot of high risk. I take a lot of chances. So it goes not just in the poker world, but the wrestling world too.
Yeah, dude. So you move unlike very, 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 very few in this business. I mean, it is really crazy to see some of the stuff you do in the ring, Ninja Mack. And I know you have a Cirque du Soleil background.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me and others just a little bit about that part of your past? Because I think that, when people see what you do, there's a lot of questions,
There are a lot of questions. So, surprisingly, growing up, high school, I'm a oldest of 7 children.
Okay.
So very active family, and we were all amateur wrestlers growing up. We did folk style, Greco, freestyle my whole life. My dad was a huge wrestler. But I was the one that was a WWF fan growing up as a kid. I loved seeing Kane and X-Pac. So when I was wrestling growing up, I would try the wrestling moves. Also, as you can tell, I'm not obviously the biggest wrestler, but I would always go and wrestle the biggest people on my team, and I'd get my ass thrown around. I guess I just got thrown around enough that I just learned how to throw my body. You get to some of those gymnastics places and those open gyms, get on some trampolines, start doing some crazy flips. After high school, I had some crazy flips on trampolines, man, and I did 1 year of college, Navarro College, and I realized college was not for me at the moment.
Wait, Navarro down in Texas?
Down in Texas.
Isn't that the cheerleading? Were you cheerleading down in Navarro or no?
I tried out to be a cheerleader my first year.
Oh man, I just finished season 2 of Cheer, so that's the only reason.
Oh yeah, Monica, the whole group, that thing's taken off. I would say when I realized it wasn't for me, trying out, doing college, doing the whole cheer and the flipping stuff, it was cool. But just having that wrestling, man, I wanted to wrestle. So, you kind of get back into fighting, get home. And I was like, you know what? I saw a Cirque du Soleil tryout in Vegas. So I kind of booked my ticket. I put in my video that I sent out. You can find that on YouTube in one of my old pages.
Yeah.
And they didn't take me either. Like they showed up, you pay for the tryout. I tried out. I got a phone call. Hey, you're really good, but you don't know how to dance. Can't get across the stage. You can do all the badass shit, but you weren't very fluent and agile for us. So can you try out again, or can you get some experience in that? Go home for the summer. I ended up taking some ballet, some tap, some jazz, just to literally pick up some little stuff to learn how to move across the stage. And at the end of the summer, I flew myself back, tried out, and I got into the Cirque du Soleil program. And like WWE, Cirque du Soleil, you get in, you kind of apply for jobs, but they got indie circuses too. So like SeaWorld has jobs. There's so many different circuses. Sam Trigo Productions out in California gave me my first opportunity. So I got into the Cirque du Soleil program. As you meet people, I got a 6-week job in Mexico. So that was a quick tour. I then did the Michael Jackson workshop in Montreal for Cirque du Soleil. They used me like a guinea pig. I sat in a cannon and they shot me 80 feet in the air on a trapeze.
What?
And they just said to hold on, let go, and fall down into a 40-foot net. Man, that was a wild 6 weeks in Montreal.
What?
It was, trust me, I didn't do any trapeze before, but I wasn't a person to say no to trying some stuff because I was pretty athletic. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll go for it. Just shoot me in the air, and 80 feet I went up, and I dropped to a 40-foot net. And if you watch that Michael Jackson show, you see people flying across stages on the trapeze like this. I was that guinea pig.
Wow, dude. Was it scary being the guinea pig? Were you like, I don't know that all this equipment works? Were you ever nervous?
No. I mean, obviously, I'm very careful because I'm calculated. I'm not just gonna do something to do it, but also I'm willing. I'm a daredevil. I want to try stuff. I want to see what's possible. Let's make some wild stuff happen, and not just in the circus. You're seeing in wrestling right now. I'm willing.
So I'm interested. I'm really interested by the concept of Cirque du Soleil working like WWE or pro wrestling. I didn't know that there was this whole kind of world underneath it as you build up. I guess it kind of makes sense. But like, what were you learning as part of that program? Were you upping your gym?
Yeah, well, so if you get into the program, like every show has different acts. So if you were to look at every match on a card, you could compare that to an act on a show. So sometimes cards have 8 to 12 acts. Some acts are 30 minutes, some acts are 8 minutes, just like matches. Where's what's the story? So if you look at a Cirque du Soleil show, yeah, it's crazy athletic, but if you look at the overall thing, they are trying to tell stories with each and every single show. It's just, are you capable enough of catching up to the story?
Yeah. And so, how does pro wrestling come? Was this just like something that you were like, I want to try this? Like, how does that get fit into the equation here, the pro wrestling part?
So I was on tour. I just, let's see. I mean, I was 6 years into the circus jobs, traveling. We were in Los Corocos in Venezuela for about 3 months. We went back to Mexico for 3 months. I was over in Belgium doing some tricking battles. Tricking is a big part of circus, not just circus, but a lot of the stuff you see me doing in the ring is a lot of tricking. It's a big sport we're trying to bring up in the world and get some eyes on the tricking sport. Phenomenal athletes.
Is that just like standing back flips? Like what is
The best way I could describe tricking is if you were to take the concept of breakdancing battles, martial arts, and gymnastics, and you mold it all together. So you got the crazy ninja kicks and flips compared with a back and forth battle scene. So one person will go and do this crazy combo, and then the next person's coming back to try and top that crazy combo. And then me being the wrestler, I wasn't afraid of contact. So I was before Ninja Mack, I was Capoeira Kid.
Okay.
A decent while ago with after Booker T's. So when I took my tricking and I kind of put it into a fight scene, battle scene style. And now, like I said, I'm molding, I'm morphing my craft, and we're just trying to ride out this craziness I'm trying to create.
How was it working with Booker T to try to mold your style? I would imagine that there was a lot of slow it down being said. I could be wrong.
Of course, and in the words of Booker T, find your Romeo and Juliet. You got to find your Shakespeare. You got to everyone at that level is athletic enough. What's going to be your catch? How do you express your story you're trying to get out?
Okay. And
so
yeah.
I love Booker. Booker was he was very good to me in the aspect of he didn't let me just go wild at first. He forced me to be a heel and learn to work really hard and be that bad guy. And I was crazy athletic back then too. So by teaching me to work and slow down and get that heel concept, I would like I said, he knew what I needed when I was first starting, rather than just letting me go and do the crazy stuff. So he kind of grounded me, humbled me with that, and then to teach me that TV style right off the bat, and not let me just go crazy and do what I want. He made me learn. You need to be here at this time. You need to be here when you're doing this because you got to do this. So it was very good to get that right from the beginning and day one. And the way Booker started was off a Seattle tour in the circus.
Booker also has a circus background? I didn't know that.
So I was on the circus tour. There was a old pro wrestler. He just did indie scenes. He didn't do nothing big. And he saw that we would shoot wrestle while we're at the hotel because we're touring for 3 months with each other at a time. Okay. So you kind of getting to know everyone, 20 people, 30 people. So we would wrestle at the hotel, and I'm just not saying I was a great wrestler, but compared to people that have never wrestled, you're just kind of playing around with people and ankle picks, putting them on their butt. And he's like, dude, you're good at wrestling and you do the crazy flips. Look at some schools. You might be interested in pro wrestling. And I said, where do I even go? How do I even get started? He said, you want to be on the West Coast, you want to be in Houston, or you want to get to Florida. And I said, hey, funny thing is, I'm from Houston. I live in Houston. I'm raised in Houston. He's like, yeah, go look up Reality of Wrestling for Booker T. I flew in on a Friday. I went to Booker T school on a Sunday, and I've never gone back to the circus.
Damn. So that was it for you. Once you got hooked up with Booker and decided this is it now, the pro wrestling thing, you you dropped all that,
Dropped
right?
everything in a heartbeat, full blown wrestling.
Wow, dude.
I did reality wrestling for 2 years. I was I was growing, but I felt like I could have grown at a faster pace after those 2 years. So I
Sure.
took on a ton of lucha bookings besides just bookers. So after bookers for 2 years, I did about 2 years of lucha where I stacked 3, 4, 5 matches a weekend, and where I would just work lucha. Because in Texas we had so much lucha around, and then they it's more my quick fast style, and I
Yeah.
wanted to run, I wanted to go wild.
So
Um,
yeah, dude, that's that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like
no,
that's dude, what a whirlwind like for you. And you're not an old man. Like how old are you, Ninja Mac? What, 30, 32?
32, just
Yeah,
turned 32. I
man.
turned 32 New Year's Eve at the GCW show,
It,
wild show that night.
it sounds like you've lived like 8 lives already, Ninja Mac, the way you just
Whew.
kind of clip through stuff here. So you're getting going. You've decided you're into pro wrestling now, and GCW is obviously where a lot of fans have gotten to know you. That's where I got to know you. I've seen you at
Yep.
Warrior Wrestling, of course, as well. Um, so how has it been, man? Like, was this? Did you think if you got a shot here, this would be the kind of vibe for you? Like, what's it been like for you
Whew.
getting into the mix and becoming like a name in this GCW universe, man?
Dude, it's been a while. It's been a while, 6 months since the change of the gimmick and the character. But it's been a wild like year. So after I did those 2 years of lucha, I was blessed and became a father. Had a son. Sometimes I'm posting some videos of my little ninja Leo. But when I became a dad, maybe I'm just one track minded, but I shut off wrestling, shut off work. I did nothing. I literally just was a dad for 2 years, and then I just started working a little bit.
Yeah,
So I mean, literally just working dad at home, grow some businesses at home, and then COVID happened, and without COVID, there's no Ninja Mac because of COVID, I was at home. I got back to training with some people in Houston, and after 3.5 years of not wrestling, I I came back as Mac, and I was like, hey, you know what? No one's really doing a ninja thing, and I could easily do a ninja thing. It kind of fits what I do. I do ninja and gambling stuff outside of wrestling.
yeah.
So Ninja Mac was born, and then it's if you go back and you watch when I first started, I want to say my first match was October of 2020 for
Okay.
Loco Wrestling. If y'all haven't heard of Loco Wrestling, Houston promotion that I've helped grow with Jaime Martinez and Reggie Jackson, Mr. 420 himself. So we have a show on Friday, actually, huge show. So that thing's already sold out, and it's gonna be a big one right before Hammerstein.
Dude.
But without Loco Wrestling and kind of getting me back on the track, Noah doesn't see Ninja Mac. GCW doesn't see Ninja Mac. So because of Loco Wrestling, I was able to get back to training in Houston. 6 months of Loco, and I get booked. I get called by Jimmy Lloyd for GCW.
Man, dude. And now here you are. You're gonna be on the kickoff show for the World on GCW. And dude, yeah, I mean, this is just a cavalcade of guys that can, move very, very quickly here in this battle.
Ooh, there's going to be some wild stuff. Just seeing the names on that match and at Hammerstein, you got Jack Cartwheel. That man is a young man that is going to
Yeah,
be very great in this business. Alex Zane's already like what he's done and still growing is amazing. My rival Dante Leon, he's there, but whatever. Psh,
yeah,
Dante,
sure.
you guys pretty good though. So just with that match alone, and then obviously you got a 16-year-old prodigy, and Nick Wayne is going to be there.
I know.
So like that guy, and then I
Reef.
don't know if the real king of 420 himself's going to be there for us in New York. So I mean, just between those five opponents, this match is going to be a wild match, and for them to put us on the kickoff show, and I would hope that we're first match because that means we have all the eyes, and we got the chance to put everyone to watch the rest of the show, and whatever we haven't sold online, that'll be up to us to get those people to buy that last minute show.
Yeah, dude. Really great call. I thought putting you guys in. I mean, what a fun show, dude. You guys have Moxley a part of this thing.
Ooh, yeah, I know
Jeff,
he's coming back too strong.
dude, Jeff Jarrett, Matt Cardona. Like, how has it been for you? Like, in the time you've been there, you've watched a lot of like the quality of names coming in and competing and wanting to be a part of GCW is going up here. How does it feel for you watching like these other kind of more notable names coming in and starting to find a spot with GCW?
To me, As a performer, I would say I watched not them just come in. I watched Effie grow.
Sure.
Effie has grown so much in the time I've just been there, and he's been such a big help. So I know we're mentioning names like Matt Cardona, Moxley, um, Jeff Jarrett. Oh, hitting them. You better watch out, Jeff. But mentioning those names, we need to mention the names of Effie. You need to mention the names of Alley Catch. We need to mention the names of the second gear crew. Like all those guys that have been there before me and they gave me the chance to be there to work. I mean, you got Justice. Uh, as much as I dislike Atticus for stabbing me in the head in Los Angeles,
Yes.
that man has grown in the last 6 months, and he's a very dangerous man. And GCW, please don't fuck with Atticus anymore. That
Okay.
man, you're putting him in a situation that I don't think we're gonna like. Um, but all those young names that are growing, like that's what I've paid a lot of attention to. Yeah, it's nice that these big names are coming in and they help our show, but we sold out that show before there was any matches announced. So everyone on GCW, all those names need to be recognized. Chris Dickinson, Joey Janela, all those people that have been there at every single show for GCW, those guys need to have their names mentioned.
Well, and you got the Big Loco show, Hammerstein, and then Noah on the horizon, man.
Ooh, yes, sir.
Just
Finally, I got to say it.
shooting up the ladder here. So, what are your expectations when you get over to Noah? What are you looking to do? What do you want to accomplish over there?
Ooh, I would love to wrestle everyone, not just once, not just twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I want to wrestle everyone as much as I can because the more I can wrestle and the more work I can do, the better Ninja Mack's going to become. So from there, I think just with the quantity of work will then produce better quality of work from Ninja. And I think if I can produce a little bit better of a quality of a work, I think the bets are going to be endless amounts, max bets all day.
So, obviously, like beyond Noah, which is, a lot of people go over, raise their, like you raise your style, right? You raise your clout, your value. When you come back, like, AEW, WWE in the mix, does it interest you, or do you have too much fun on the indies? Do you like doing it this way? Like, what are those, I guess, WWE, AEW, are those goals of yours or not?
I would say I was growing up as a WWF WWE fan. I think to join wrestling for me was to become and make a great WrestleMania moment. That would be one of the end goals. Yes, I think that would be a great thing to have. But with the growth of AEW, maybe going forwards, why can't we have a great AEW moment? I mean, Impact's still alive. Impact's still rolling, and I got to work with some of those guys this last weekend with Sammy Callahan and PW Revolver, and those guys are always great to work with. So maybe making an Impact moment one day could be just as good as making a WWE moment. Ninja Mac, I'm here to work, man. So like I said, just I would love to make all these moments, but with my vision, Noah's my track. I'm going to Noah, and I plan to do great things with Noah and make Noah moments. And then after that, who knows?
Well, there's one guy over in WWE that certainly has a background like yours, and that's Reggie.
Who
Um,
yeah.
I didn't. Do you know Reggie? Like, what do you think? What do you think of the way they presented him? Do you watch Reggie and you're like, damn, that's something I should be doing. I should be flipping over buses and stuff like that.
I've watched Reggie. I know I got a couple friends that know Reggie in the circus, but I've not had the honor to meet Reggie yet. So maybe one day that'll be possible. Seems like a cool guy. All the circus people, it's like family. So just like the wrestling locker room, once you get in there, you get to know some people, you kind of bond together. So knowing the circus people, I mean, I'm sure he's a very cool guy. Seeing his style, like I said, with the flips, I mean, it's very comparable. So it's a nice thing. But I didn't leave the circus to have 5, 6, 7 people on the same act as me. I left the circus because I wanted to create something by myself. So if someone's already developed that kind of an act, Ninja Mac has no problem to kind of guide himself and do something else either. So, but once again, I think with his style, there could be some great things done either way. I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah, dude. All right. Hey, Ninja Mac, I want to thank you so much for the time. Very excited for the World on GCW this weekend. Is there anything you want to put over here before we wrap up the interview here today?
Well, Wrestling Inc., thank you for having Ninja Mac on your show. I really appreciate that. If you haven't gone out, please go follow, subscribe, and like Wrestling Inc., all online platforms. Obviously, you can always check out Ninja Mac. But I'm just going to be making videos and wrestling videos like I do anyways. So I would love if you subscribe and like, but if you don't, just keep watching.